Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Learn with Me series. This is episode 4 of the Learn with Me series, and here with me, I have a friend of mine, Victor Oluyitan. I might not be pronouncing his name correctly. Yeah, Victor, hello.
Hi, so
Did
bright.
I get
Nice to
your
meet
surname?
you. You are close to
Yes.
it. It's Oluyitan Victor. Yeah, it's nice to meet you, and thanks for the opportunity to be on your call. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for accepting also to be here. So we both served at Ogun State. We stayed throughout the service year. We were like flatmates. We would cook and do most things together in the flats, right? So, the reason why I have Victor here is because I know then he would like educate me on like things on finance, things on like tax, and is a financial analyst at Crimson Oik. Did I get the pronunciation? Crim
Nah, Crimson Oak Capital.
oh, Crimson Oak Capital. Don't worry, I'm
Oak.
terrible at like pronouncing oak. Yeah, whatever. Yes, so today we're going to be doing something different. So this episode is going to be different in the sense that I'm not going to be asking a lot of questions up front. So Victor would be telling us a little bit about finance and his point of view, how we can get more income in that regard as young ones that we are, right? So we'll be learning a lot from him instead of me just asking questions. So that is how this episode is going to go. But Victor, before we proceed, do you mind like introducing yourself? I might not do justice to like introducing you, so I would like you to introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you very much for that brief introduction. You have already introduced me in a little way. So yeah, I'm Victor Oluyitan, right? And I work currently as a financial analyst with a private capital and business advisory firm, Lagos Thinking Oak Capital, right? And majorly what I do there is to help in financial advisory, side business advisory on the side because businesses need that a lot. You need lots of advisors, for your business. Business owners can do all of that. A fun fact about me, apart from the whole finance and all of that, right, I'm also a creative designer. And I think Favorite can remember very well that I used to do a lot of graphic
Yeah,
design. That one is like a flair for apart from your account and stuff. So yeah.
yeah. You see why it is good as I gave you the floor to introduce yourself. So, because I know I might not do enough justice to that. Yeah, but yeah. So it's also more like a tech vo in the design world, brand design. Yeah, so brand identity design. I think that's the real term. But before we go further, I want you to touch on something I saw in your profile. Right. So I saw this heading. I've never seen it before. I saw ESG enthusiasts, right? So I had to Google what is ESG. So ESG, I think it stands for like environmental, social governance. So do you want to
Yeah.
elaborate more on what that is and um what that is all about?
Yeah. So ESG is a very, very critical part of every business, right? As the world is changing, everyone is now environmentally conscious. In fact, in some part of the country, because once you don't imbibe ESG into what you do, if you don't imbibe it into a a conscious part of your business, when you're reaching out to investors, man, you have already knocked yourself out of the ball. Now we already have more people that are conscious in the fact of how is your business affecting we the consumers in our environment? How are you impacting us? So ESG, my first on ESG started from university because I had to carry out a project. Thesis was based on sustainability reporting. So for you to know that accounting has even left beyond the normal just accounting, trial balance, and all of that, there's now a part of accounting that they call sustainability accounting, or some people call it sustainability finance. That's to show you that even while preparing your books of accounts, right, you must be able to have a portion there to show that, oh, this is how we are impacting our community. This is how ABC company is impacting the community. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now, right? And we now go
Yeah, I
back to
get.
UN. So there's one thing that UN has brought up, an adoption. I've forgotten exactly when they brought it up. I think 2012 or thereabout, or maybe later. The 20 SDG goals. If you notice it now, a lot of companies they already have it in their corporate governance. And corporate governance is to tell you how businesses are structured and all of those. So a lot of businesses already have it to show that we are UN compliant to, we are following what UN is saying. And they not just want to just follow it. You know, it's one thing for you to say we are compliant by the books,
Yeah.
and really you are not compliant. You know, it's just one thing. It's one thing
Yes.
for someone to go out and say, oh, I'm a fashion designer. Okay, now show us what you have done in your fashion design world, and they can show you little or nothing. So it's one thing for companies to say that, oh, we are UN compliant, and then they are not following what UN has put in. So it's just to show that consumers, companies, and business like-minded people are now getting more conscious of what is going on in their environment and how their businesses are affecting their environment. So that's what ESG just means.
Okay. So it's ESG is relating to how accounting is also like contributing to communities, to the environment, still following the SDG goals. Am I right to summarize it
Not just
as
accounting,
simple as that?
not just accounting,
Okay, not okay. Okay.
not just accounting.
Okay. So
The
yeah, that
overall
makes
business framework.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So I just noticed that I said like I have to ask this. I have to learn more about like what this all means, right? So yeah, thank you for for elaborating on that. Yes. So now I'll give you the ground floor to learn more what you have for us to learn. Yeah. So you can proceed.
yeah. All right. Uh, so one of the things I've noticed in my little career is the fact that we have to open our minds up to different ways, right? So you might be doing A and you have 1,001 ways to do it. Even companies have to, they need ways to always go back to what they call strategy playbook, right? Whenever I've been working with companies on, advisory and all of that, we always create what they call strategy playbook for them. And this to also bring that even Nigeria has its own strategy playbook. Even though we know many of our government officials,
Okay.
they are not straightforward with us enough. But then there is still need for strategy playbook. So as young individuals, you need to ask yourself that question: what is my strategy playbook in getting money? Yes, we understand we Christians will say, oh, God is going to provide, you don't have to pursue the wealth and all of that. Yes, I do agree to that. But if you're going to university today, and you can agree with me, when you were entering university, favorite, how much was a piece of egg?
Well, I I actually I actually don't eat like eating egg like that, but I know it was highest 100, 150 or so.
So I will
But
help
now
you
I know
while I
the
was in
what.
school. While I was
Yes,
in school, I will help you. One piece of egg then was 15 naira. But I don't know. It's
you
been a
see.
while since I bought food out. But I think it's about 100
Okay,
naira or 200 naira. So imagine a
now
child that was collecting 20K back then in our time when we were still in school. 20K
yes,
was a lot, can do something. Now, if you want
yeah,
to collect pocket money as a student going to school, because I believe most of the audiences are students, if they want to collect pocket money as a student and you are
yes,
collecting 20K, do you really think that 20K will suffice for many of their, just for
no,
feeding alone? We have not even talked about maybe handbooks, we have not talked about printouts. Printouts back then was about 20 naira, 30 naira, 10 naira. But now, if I want to print outside now, I'm seeing 50 naira for one page. And I'm like, wow, 50 naira for just one
Yes.
page. Why did I not just bring my printer and come? So now you have to look at it that what is my strategic playbook to get,
Okay.
to increase my money in my pocket. And the truth of this is that many of us went to school with the intent that, oh, once, and it's still a problem that is still, grooming in Nigeria. Once I go to school, I have the BSc, I'm coming out, I'm getting the job immediately. I don't know if it worked for you that way, but truthfully, it did not work for me that way.
Yeah.
Before I landed a job as a financial analyst, I was sustaining my first 5 months on creative design, on branding,
Wow.
and I was totally on it. Yes, that was the only thing that was sustaining me. Oh, thank God for good parents as well, right? But that was
Yeah.
sustaining me, and that is the fact that a lot of young people, and I thank God that tech is, helping a lot of people to get. But outside tech, there are other things, right? I should
True.
have started with the
Yeah.
fact that Nigeria landscape is changing. Nigeria's landscape is changing. In terms of employment, it's already changing. There are just a few jobs to accommodate 1,001 persons. Just recently, Unilag did their graduation. You know how many graduates they have produced? Very soon, my school is doing its own convocation. You know how many graduates it's going to produce. So when
Great.
you come to the realization,
Yes.
what separates you? I'll be using myself as, an example on this call. Apart from the fact that, oh, I'm helping my company to do the work of a financial analyst. Do you know that there are sometimes my company needed to do the shirt design, the branding design? They know I'm a graphics designer.
Yeah.
Who did they give it to? They gave it to me.
Yes.
I helped them to sort it out
Okay.
with the whole printer and all of that. That was how I was able to do that. Though I did not charge them, but I know that if I wanted to charge them, I would
Ah.
have gotten that. I know if
Why
I
did you
wanted
not
to
charge
charge
them?
them, no, I actually did not want to charge them. But Nigeria's
Okay.
landscape is changing. And as individuals, we must also learn to know that a lot of things, like I said, a lot of strategy must be done in our playbook, right? You must have a lot of strategy. As you are going to university, you must be able to know, oh, how am I going to make this XYZ amount of money? I have a friend that started as an entrepreneur in school and he's doing amazing well. Like we also read accounting. Anytime I even talk about accounting, it always even feels the guy kind of even picks him up that Oluyitan, what are you talking about? I don't need this account. I'm not saying don't work on your degree, right? But the truth of it is that now how can we make
Yeah.
the money? Now how can we make the money? And I'll be giving us just about 4 to 5. Nigeria
Okay.
on its own. One of the problems of Nigeria is that Nigeria has failed to, you know, intensively diversify. We have relied so much as a
Okay.
country on oil, right? We have relied so much
Yeah.
as a country on oil. Nigeria has a lot of resources. I think we have bitumen. We have those things in Nigeria that we can use to, help our country become better than what it is right now. As I heard over the years,
Yeah.
Malaysia learned how to make palm oil and all of that from Nigeria. Can you compare the distance between Malaysia's development to Nigeria's development? No. So most of we Nigerians are like Nigeria, the country. We only want to go to the
Okay.
university, want to learn, and not want to diversify. Some of us that were even working, we only just want to do the 9 to 5 and not diversify. Some of us that are even having the money, we only just want to put it in one place and not diversify. A rightful investor
Okay.
will always tell you that you need to diversify your portfolio, right? So portfolio simply means all of your own investment, all of your assets, right? So that's just what
Yeah.
portfolio. Just like two designers, you have okay, these are the works I have done for XYZ, these are the works I've done. Portfolio simply means all of your assets. It will be wrong for you to, you know, put all of your investment. Let's say I have 500 USD, right? It will be wrong for me to put all of that 500 USD into Tesla. The question is, what if tomorrow Tesla
Yeah.
backs up? What if tomorrow something goes bad and Tesla needs to, liquidate? So even we as human beings, what if tomorrow medicine and surgery does not work out for you? What if tomorrow computer science does not work out for you? What will you be doing? What will be fetching you the money? So you see, even the Bible also says it. When that guy was given talent, right? When they were all given talent, one went to hide it.
Yes.
Him hiding it was not bad. It was simply him saving it up. That's just the truth. And that's what many of us do with our money. Oh, we're gonna put it in piggy bank. I'm not saying don't put it in piggy bank, but why don't you look for ways to put 20% of that money in piggy bank, put the other ones in different kind of investment? And I might tell my friends and close people something that savings will never save you much enough, right? Savings is just a short term thing. It won't save you long enough. Why? Because before you even want your money, inflation has eaten up your money. So it's more or less like you are giving those people you haven't given. That piggy bank, okay, let's say you put 50,000 in piggy bank today. Do you think piggy bank too will gonna save the 50,000? They will not use it for something.
No. They will help you invest in other things.
So piggy bank that is investing, do you think they're a foolish company? So it's nice when you open your savings app as a young person and you see, oh, I've already saved up to 300,000. Yes, I did not say it's not good. It's a good disciplined life. It shows that person is disciplined with money. But it doesn't show that
Yeah.
that person is wise enough with money. Yes, if you are doing a lot of savings and there is no, you're only just waiting for piggy bank ROI. I guess piggy bank or whatsoever saving platform will give you can be more than 10%. That's the truth. It can be more than 10%. That's even if it's up to 10%. So imagine you are putting in 300K, right? And you are getting 10% of that lately. Let's say everything you get in the long run is around 330. By January to December, do you know the inflation rate that has already gotten up? As we speak now, Nigeria's inflation is around 23%. So that means whatsoever I have as at 23%, yes. As at December, our
Yeah.
inflation rate was 24.58%. As at December, it was around 24.58, but now it's already reduced to 23% during last week period, which I know
Yeah.
within me, and a lot of economists know that this will not be constant. The decline will not be constant. There is every high
So it will
tendency
still
that
go up.
within. That's just the truth. That's just true because we are fighting not just with our naira issue. We are fighting with the laws of demand and supply. Yeah, our naira has not seen a stable way. The government neither has seen a stable way to make the naira. They are just doing testing here and there. The CBN governor, Yemi Kadoso, Governor Yemi Kadoso, he's just doing a lot of test running. They are just doing a lot of this, a lot of that here and there. As a last year, two times or three times the MPR. So MPR it means monetary policy rate, and it helps to determine your level of borrowing and all of that. As a last year, they increased it almost like two or three times. So that means they are not even exactly sure. Oh, this is what is going to work. This is the solution to this problem, right? So now
Yeah.
back to what I was saying, right? So if you are putting that amount of money and you're just saying, oh, I have 330,000 at the end of the year, man, you have less than 330 in real value. So in real value, you have less than that. Your nominal value is less than that. It will probably be staggering around 250, 280. That's just the truth. So now, like I said, a lot of we young people do not have that, consciousness that, oh, we need to, okay, we have the consciousness, but we don't just know how. Many of us lack information, and I really appreciate this kind of your, sessions. You're talking of tech, you're talking on finance, you're not just streamlining it and all of that. So it's a great one. One of the ways that
Yeah,
we young people can even learn, and I'll start with the simplest part, is trying to monetize the simplest of things, which is our talent. So many of us just think that talent are, you know, just there, just ends in church, just ends in, probably your department. They know you are talented, and that's just it. Lai Wasabi, all of them, they started as undergraduates. When Lai Wasabi started, if you scroll through Lai's page, you remember that time when he was still wearing, like he was always doing, like he was talking to a lecturer, the pain of a student. I don't know, are you familiar with that time of like the pain and all of that? What happened in the
yes.
long run? People know that, oh, this
So
guy is funny. Yes, I'm with you, please.
yeah, you can go on. I was trying to say like I know I did not follow him quite early enough. Maybe I've not seen that time, but in the recent time, I know I've been following his videos. Yeah, but you can go on.
So the initial part where he started was usually like, so imagine you are the lecturer and I'm the student, right? There are some lecturers that are just born to frustrate
Yeah,
Nigerian students. So that kind of thing. You will always be passing this kind
yeah,
of notion of how frustrated Nigerian undergraduates are by their lecturers and all of those stuff. All of these
yeah.
people had the talent to just make people laugh. Even if you have not yet brushed and you are trying to cover your teeth, which is brown, from being from it being seen, these guys will make sure you open that teeth by force by fire. They have that talent and they have been able to monetize that talent. I have a friend, a roommate, in fact, while I was still in university rather, this guy drums. Like he was part of the choir and all of that. He drums. Right now, as I'm talking to you, this guy is in Abuja and he's a big boy, right? The church where he's working with is so he's employed there as a drummer. So if the pastor is traveling, I think late last year he traveled with the pastor to Ghana for a revival. So anywhere the pastor is going, he's going with him. To make things interesting, elder
Wow.
brother, his elder brother is Apostle Joshua Selman's bassist, like personal keyboardist. So the guy that plays keyboard with Apostle Joshua Selman. So if you check Joshua Selman's pages, right, or his videos of Koinonia, the guy that plays keyboard, so that's the guy's elder brother.
Yes,
And this guy is talented when it comes to drumming. So while I'm here doing financial analysis, all of those whatsoever, him is just there using his talent, hitting the drums, hitting the cymbals, and there he's making his money. So that is one of the first ways we can, monetize our skill. When they say monetize your skill, a lot of footballers, it's their talent. Like they enjoy playing ball and then they are being paid for it. So it's one thing for you to want to do the job because you need to do the job. And then it's another thing for you to do the job out of
yes.
your extreme passion for it. Out of your extreme passion for it. That's the truth. I'm sure where you are working now, one of the things you like to do very well is all the front end stuff and all of that. We have had that conversation and I've seen how you're always very happy whenever you're coding, cracking bugs and all of that. That's your passion.
So you were talking
Yeah.
about my work.
The
Yeah,
passion.
so in context, my work has actually changed. I don't know if you know. So lately I don't code like that enough.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I know.
this I'm
I
into
know.
like customer support. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
but
We spoke
you
about
can
it
go on.
some
I
time
still
ago.
code, but yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I know. I know. We spoke about it some time ago about the whole job description. But what am
Okay.
I trying to say in essence is that
Yes.
you can monetize your skills, right? Just start with something here and there and just try to be able to sell yourself. You just need just one person to believe in that your skill. That's just the truth. You need one person to believe in your skill, then you can begin to build on that one person. I know getting clients or getting someone to believe in your skill in Nigeria, especially as someone that has not done it before, it's always very hard. That's the truth. And we
Yeah.
must sympathize with ourselves in that regard. So when I started as a designer and all of that, and I have not really worked on any other project, the first person that was going to help, or let me use the word help, that's just the truth. The first person that was going to key into my stuff tried to look like if she was going to help me when she paid for it and all of that. So that's the first way, monetize your skill, right? Second way, right, is what we call the investment opportunity. And when I'm saying investment opportunities, please, I'm not referring to Ponzi scheme. Maybe because I'm a financial person. But even apart from being a financial person, right, it's almost very hard for you to scam me of my money because I'll make sure I do my due diligence. Nigerians will like too much
Yeah.
of good things. When you are in school, you see a lot of people, "Ah, one something here you have joined, one something here you have joined." I remember lately there was this one they were doing, was it tap 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 or something? I actually did
Yes.
not even know when it started. I did not know when it started, but I was with one of my sister's friends, right? People were tapping that time, oh guy.
Yeah.
So you that you were not tapping, to look like, ah, guy, you are missing out on this gold well.
You
I
are
be this
missing
oil
out.
well. So I did not know about it that time, right? But one of my sister's friend was that, talking me about it. Was just telling me everything about it. In my mind, I was like, wow. Everything I was just saying was like, wow, wow. So if you turn the money to this, it will be like, wow. I was just wow. All of a sudden, I just started seeing the old news on Instagram and Twitter. Now, hey, those that have tap. So in my mind, I'm now looking at it that those productive hours you guys have used, you could have rather used them for something else. Nigerians like Ponzi
Something
scheme.
else.
And
Yeah.
when I talk about investment, I normally give the people the caveat. I'm not saying that if you invest tomorrow, you become a millionaire. Oh. No, you will not become a millionaire immediately. But it will just help you to know how to accumulate wealth, right? And one of the platforms I can
Yeah.
like boldly talk about. I'm not an ambassador or anything, but I've used it over the years since we've been serving, right? Is the bamboo. And I think I introduced you
Yes.
to it, right? Bamboo. They
Yes.
have
Yes,
some
you did.
self
Yes.
yeah, they have some self-paced, courses that you can learn. It helps you to know how I can I
Yes.
invest into this company, right? How can I invest into this company? How can I put my XYZ money? I know the sweet part of it is that all of those money are going to be turned to dollars. So while Nigerian currency is depreciating, your money is appreciating.
Yo.
You might call me bad,
Yes.
guy. You might call me bad, or you might call me evil. But towards last year, I think June, July, September, when Nigeria's currency was really dropping drastically, like my prayer, I was praying, God, let Nigeria currency keep failing. God, please, let it. I know that yes, the truth of it is that you may say I'm stingy, but the truth of it is that yes, it will affect me one way because I'm buying commodities locally. But in the other
Exactly.
way, I'm also still enjoying. So it was like a win-loss
Because of your
situation. Anyhow, it is.
investments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like a win-loss situation for me. So when I started, and the truth is that you don't even need much to know how to start investing, right? You just need your conscious mind to be there, and you need your phone, chicken, and okay, probably a little token. So when I started, right, while I was still working with at Copper with Crawford, that time I think I
Yeah.
started with when we were earning, I think was it 7K or something. I shall put like maybe was it
Yeah,
15 or
7K.
20.
Oh, Chai. Okay.
So
Plus Alawi. Continue.
yeah, plus Alawi. So I used most of the Alawi for that. So I used their 7K, then top it up with 3K from the Alawi. So the Alawi was 33. So I just removed the three on top. I just left the allowance to be 30, that kind of thing, because I still needed to pay tithe and all of those personal stuff. So I shall use
Yeah.
like my first investment was 10,000. But how did I split it? I already watched some videos of Warren Buffett, right? There are a lot of videos there that can teach you about investment, because I've been very interested in investment and all of that, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I just want to split it. I bought some in Microsoft. I bought some. I think I bought, because later I bought Tesla or something. I shall bought little. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like 4 or 5 in total. I shall split the 5,000. I was able to split the 5,000. I did the 10,000. Instead, I was surprised. But towards that same 10,000, right? I still added like maybe a 15,000 or 20,000 later to it. I've not been consistent lately. But this time when
Okay.
I was telling you about Nigeria's depreciation and all of that, when I checked my money that time, I know some people might have doubt, but that's just the truth. When I checked my money that time, it was around 40, 50,000. And I was
Mm.
not putting any other money apart from that when we start 2020 or 2021 or so. And I did
It
not put
was
any money again.
20.
After
Wow.
2022 was, yeah, 2022. So I think the first quarter of
2022.
2020, yes. So the first quarter of that 2022, right? I just added maybe a little token there, and the thing actually went as high as that 50K. And I'm not saying that that's like a Ponzi scheme, right? If you sit down to calculate it, you might say, oh, it's not a good deal. You might say, oh, that's a fair deal. But the truth of it is that I didn't mean I already kept more money into that. You can imagine how much I would have gotten within that period. So that's to tell you that the best way to keep growing is through many of all this. And all of these companies I'm talking about, they've been in existence for, many of them have been in existence for more than 50 years, right? They've been in existence for, so the going concern is there. When I mean going concern, that means the ability or that possibility for them to continue to exist into the foreseeable future. The going concern is there. They already
It's
have that
high.
yes, yes, exactly.
They have that
So
reputation
that's the
already.
second way. And how can you begin to, and how can you know more when it comes to investment? Because investment in its own real sense can, you can be overwhelmed by it. I remember when banks were doing all of this, buy our shares and all of that. Some of my friends were coming to me and saying, "Oh, Victor, should we buy this share? Should we buy that? Should we buy
Yeah.
Nigerian bank?" And I told them three major things. First, you have to know what you want. I can't help you choose what you want. It's good you came to me, but you need to know what you want, what interests you. So before you say you want to buy a share, does that company interest you? If tomorrow I see a Samsung company and I see Apple company, which one am I going to invest in? Truthfully speaking, because of my interest in Samsung, I'll go for Samsung first. I know, yes, iPhone and Apple, they are very innovative and all of that. It's an innovative company, but I'll go for what interests me.
Samsung.
And I've learned this
Yeah.
from a particular video I watched of Warren Buffett. Invest The best investment are not just made as investment. The best investment are made in the companies you love. They are made in those companies that you love. So you need to know some of those companies that interest you. As a lover of maybe football, there are ways you can invest in Man United. I know Man United now, maybe because of their own status and all of that. But you can love, you can invest in those companies that you love, right? That's the first way to learn how to invest. Second way to learn how to invest is, watching a lot of videos, right? You need to know, as an investor, you need to know what's trending, right? Because the truth of it is that if tomorrow
Yeah.
I see that the naira is appreciating, does it make sense for me to still go and invest in naira? I'll be sorry to go and invest in dollar. I will remove my money fast,
No,
fast.
no.
What I'm saying, wait, I'm coming somewhere. I'm coming somewhere because it happened to a relative of mine, right? Because the naira was appreciating at a point in time. So he had invested,
Okay.
he had bought lots of dollars, he has bought lots of dollars and all of that. I was telling him, So don't remove this money. I know Nigeria's economy to an extent.
It did
It
not
will
yet.
come back. It will fail again. So don't say because of just a little minute appreciation, you will now think that, oh, you are already at loss. That's the thing. Don't you have to be very acclimatized with Nigeria's economy. Most times, like you might even think I'm into crypto sometimes, the way I'm always checking the exchange rate. That's the truth. So I'm checking it to be sure to know, oh, and also because of the line of my my profession, I need to know,
Yeah.
okay, what is the trend? Is it appreciating? Is it not appreciating? This and that. And I told him, bro, don't remove this thing. But he went ahead to remove it. Along the line, in less than a month, it depreciated again. And he began to regret. Because when he removed it, he was already running at loss. I don't know if
Yes.
you get what I'm saying. So he had already removed it because
I
he
get.
was running at loss. So now that the thing has now appreciated again, it was now
More
all regret,
loss.
more loss. So what I meant that if Nigerian naira is appreciating, I will go and remove it. Is the fact that if I see it has appreciated consistently over a period of time.
Over time.
So let's say yes, over time. So let's say I'll still be speculating. Is this going to come down? And Nigeria's naira is going to still depreciate. But if I see 8 months, 10 months, it is still appreciating. The best thing is for you to take it away and just invest in a naira related investment. That is
Stock.
just it.
Yeah.
So yes, so you need to be very, 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 very conscious of the Nigerians. Don't just leave your money and then just go and sleep. You are not following up with the news. You are not following up with the economic trends, and then you say you are an investor and all of that. You are just a nominal investor that way. Another last way,
True.
right, is that you can also invest your money in things like so how will I put it down? That I don't want to use the word ETFs, right? I've forgotten this exact word, but you can also invest your money in some domiciliary accounts. I don't.
Okay.
I'll
O-
explain. So
Okay,
for
bonds.
me,
Did you
I
say
already know
bonds?
domiciliary,
Okay.
domiciliaries.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
bonds is also
basically, you
not
are
a,
investing in dollars.
yeah. So bonds is not a bad choice, right? There are bonds, there
Okay.
are bills, there are T-bills, that's T-bills and all of
Treasury
that. You
bills.
can invest in all of those.
Yeah.
Yes, you can invest in all of those. But the truth is, for me, maybe from my own perspective, right? I just think that those things you need more expertise before you
Knowledge.
can do all of those things.
Yeah.
Yes, you need more expertise because for T-bills, right, you are dealing with the government. You are not dealing with a private company.
Yeah.
You are not dealing with an individual. You are dealing with the government. So you need to get knowledge. Yeah.
I think Bamboo has made it easy to invest in. I think they have treasury bills now. I think no, they don't. I don't think they have bonds, but they have treasury bills, and they have fixed. There's this
Okay.
fixed return something. Yeah, that they also
Yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah. Those kind of things. Those fixed returns too are almost now similar to savings, right? That their fixed return is
Yeah.
now kind of similar to the normal savings. But T-bills are
Yes.
actually not bad. If you have the money for T-bills, you can go into it. And the most interesting thing about T-bills, whenever you get T-bills, is that you get your interest upfront, and you are sure
Yes.
that the government will give you your money back. So a lot of we young people do not know about this. It's because you have opened your
True.
mind to learning and bamboo.
Yeah.
That is why you can know. When you hear TB, some will think maybe he's a new musician. No, he's not. He's not an hip hop artist. He's not. He's not an hip hop artist. He's not a gospel artist. Yeah. So it's related to the whole investment aspect and all of that, right?
Yeah.
So as I was saying before, we made mention of the people. So DOMS, right? While
Yeah.
I can invest my money in stock, is the fact that or in dollars, right? Is the fact that I'm already doing stock, right? And I know that those companies I have like at least 98% guarantee that if I want my money, I can get my money back, right?
Yeah.
So I do for now. I do more of just for the DOMs, right? I do more of the Great Britain pound because I tried to check it
Wow.
already, and I saw that yes. So pound has the highest in terms of exchange rate, even more than dollars, right? No blame me. I'm in Nigeria now. I'll go for what is cheap fast. So, and
Yeah.
again, I went for pounds for the fact that pounds is less vulnerable. Pounds is less
Okay.
vulnerable. And when I mean is less vulnerable is that just a few people trade with pounds. So US dollar
Mm.
is like the world exchange. So the forces of demand and supply there is higher. So it's more susceptible for it to fall greatly, marginally, than for pounds or maybe
Pounds.
Canadian dollars or the likes. So that was why I
Yeah.
went for pounds when it comes to DOM. And
Okay.
lately I think I've not followed it as at yesterday, but as at 2 days ago, pound was around 2001 or 1960 at minimum. 1960 at minimum, yes.
One night. Wow.
So imagine you have like you have mind to just put in about let's say 100K, just leave it there for the next 3 months. Trust me, from that 1960, 1980, it will rise up because this is what I've been seeing over years. As at the beginning of last year, our pounds, 1 pound to naira was so between
Yeah.
Wednesday.
That's a lot. Though.
So you can imagine that's just very crazy.
Yes.
So that's why when my sibling did that his own and it was in dollar, I actually told him, I wish you had done pound because I have the confidence in that one. The pounds, the vulnerability is so that is one of the reasons because the CBN now knows that people want to keep their money more in pounds. They are not imposing lots of rules against that. So it's now harder for you to get money from the bank in terms of
Mm.
domiciliary or foreign exchange and all of that. As I wrap up all of this, right?
Yeah.
I think I've been able to talk on three major aspects, right? Monetizing your skill
Yeah.
as a young person.
Yes.
So don't see, oh, that my painting, I'm just drawing for fun. There's nothing like drawing for fun. Why don't you gather five
Monetize it.
parents, tell them that I will teach your child how to paint. Within 3 months, your child will be a professional. What's the name of that guy? That guy that was painting Moana. What's the name of that most expensive paint? I've forgotten the name of that popular
Mona
artist,
Lisa.
right?
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa.
Abi?
It starts with P.
Yes.
The guy that painted it, the guy that painted it, I've forgotten his name.
I cannot remember his name.
I can't remember his name either. So you gather like five parents from your church. Mommy, I've seen your child. Mommy, let me teach your child how to paint. Within 5 months, mommy, he will be drawing you. He'll be drawing the
Yeah.
whole of Africa.
So I just searched
Uncle
for his name.
Tayo,
Um.
how is your okay? How much is your money? Because of Fadekemi is a girl, and because you are in our church, I'll just collect maybe 12,000. 12,000. What's it for you? Let's do 10,000. Okay, mommy. You collect from A, you collect from B, you collect from C. You already make about 30,000 for yourself. You teach them how to do the
Yeah.
painting. You teach them how to do that. So ordinary that I can sing. It is just I can sing that then Mercy Chinwo and the like. God have not helped them to elevate their voices that people are not paying money for those their songs. Bidemi Oloba, if
Yeah.
he's going for a show, if I don't even know of anyone, the one I know of, his charges are crazy. It's Tosin B. Tosin B is very young. He's not as extremely young though. I think he's around the 30s or 29. But Tosin B, in fact, as at most of his concerts, if you check his Instagram page for Minister Tosin B, I don't know if you know him. He's a Redeemite though. Most of his concerts or his
Yeah.
programs.
So I
Yeah, you
can't hear
wanna
you
say
again.
something?
Oh yeah.
You wanna
I
say
wanted to
something?
say I might have heard of him, but right now I cannot like remember.
Yeah,
Doesn't be, but I
you
would
can check
search.
up. Yeah, most
Yes.
of the churches he goes to now, they are not even in Nigeria. He's going to Australia, going to London, Canada, and what's he just doing? He's singing. In fact, I'm sorry, but most of even the songs he's singing is from his track he has released. It's not like he's singing something dynamic
It's
or new. He's
new
singing
songs.
almost the same thing.
Yeah.
So whatever he sings in Australia is whatever he will sing in Canada, and they are paying for him. So we need to have the consciousness as young people that my skill can be paid for. Many of us, many people have. There's now one new skill that people don't think like monetize them. You can monetize it, right? Is the skill of public speaking. Public speaking.
Yeah.
Some people can talk to crowds, and bro, you'll be having shivers in your body that man, this girl they talk, this boy they talk. But you know you can monetize some of those skills. Okay, I'll come for your event, but this is my charge. And some of them are even collect as it as hourly rate. So I think that's one of the ways that you can get innovative. Like I told you before we had the whole call, it's either of two things
Yeah.
for every Nigerian, for every person. It's either you increase your income or you reduce your cost. It's almost impossible for you to reduce your cost. We know the truth. It's almost impossible for you to reduce your cost. So while you are doing the whole pursuing the whole chemistry, biology and the like, why don't you look for something on the side, to sell? And sometimes I make fun of it to say that almost everybody on my contact list, I don't know of you, favorite, but almost everybody on my contact list don't turn entrepreneur. Now, WhatsApp is already like Katangwa. WhatsApp is already like Katangwa. But the truth of it is that
Just
how many people are going to
I
buy
think
those stuff?
I think 3 days ago, someone messaged me that she got my contact from a group that she's offering this and this services. I think she sells all this like facial stuff, hair stuff, and she was like, "This is the service that she's offering. If I'm interested," and funny enough. I was willing to like patronize her. Well, I've not patronized her yet, but I might just patronize her. Like for the boldness to like reach out. So like I
Hmm.
think it's one thing to start like a business, and it's another thing to like make sure you're loud about it so that people will know. And then because
Yeah,
if you're loud about it and you come in like a unique way, like there's every possibility that you get more customers than if you just stay there and say, "Oh, I've started this business," so you're not really loud about it. So yeah, that's another thing that um you guys should take note of.
yes. So
Yes.
I really admonish the ladies boldness. But the reality of it also is the fact that if we have 1,001 entrepreneurs, right, how many people are going to even eventually buy? Many of these entrepreneurs have talent. They have gifts that will even sell them more. I'm not saying selling and
Yeah.
buying is wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. But you have some gifts, guys. Why don't you even look into that? And you should get them
Yeah.
monetized, right? So that's just the second thing that I made mention of. The third thing I made mention of was, and I'm going to join the third thing I made mention. There were two, but join them together. The investment
Okay.
and the DOMs. So you have need to know that you need to get yourself more into investment. You need to get yourself more into stock. And when I'm saying investment, don't go and say MMM. I think Nigerians should have even learned from the MMM scenario. But it seems that many of us are just very stubborn.
Yeah.
We should have learned our lessons from
So
the MMM.
yeah, they are
Yeah, I'm
always
listening to you.
doing new ways. They're always doing new ways of like Ponzi scheme. So I remember when we were 7, there was something going on. Like they brought it to me. I don't know if they brought it to you. Like even lecturers were doing
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
think
they
that.
were putting their money somewhere. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. I think
So let me
that.
not lie. So I saw someone doing it, and the person was like, "Hey, won't you do blah blah refer blah blah?" So me, I said, "Okay." Oh, so I put my money there. I think, but me, I was, but me, like all those kind of things, me, I know they will not last. So there was an action we had to like take. So I told them that, guy, me, I don't have time to. If I tell you the person that introduced me, you will know, but I don't want to tell you.
Yeah,
But
I know
yeah,
the
so I was
person.
like, I don't have time to be. Okay, okay. I don't have time to be like be clicking on one avocating thing. No. So the person was like, no, help me click on it. So eventually, if I
People
get
are
the
working.
so I said, okay. Oh. So they were helping me do it. So I think it worked the first time and I got like little return. And then the person was like, oh, put everything back. I said, okay, I put everything back. But then the second time it crashed, right? So it crashed across the school. So I think there's always this there's always this Ponzi scheme stuff. And like me, it was not like a big deal. It was to me, it was a small
You
money that
expected it to
I
solve
knew I
problem.
was okay losing. If it was like, yeah.
So
You
yeah,
said
that's
what,
that
sorry?
Ponzi scheme. I said you saw it coming, kind of. I think you saw
Yes.
it coming. So
Yes.
Ponzi schemes work
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
way
I did.
to encourage you, right? Because they know that we human beings we want
Yes.
more. If I don't give you bread today, right, you won't come back to me tomorrow and ask for chicken.
Mm-hmm.
But because I've given you potato today, that's why you come back and ask me for bread
Yes.
tomorrow. And you come back the next day thinking I'll give you
Exactly.
chicken. So Ponzi schemes work that way. So it's more, trying to entice customers. They are just customer strategy. I can tell you that Ponzi scheme people, right? Even we in the investment space, we really respect them
Yeah.
because they have really cracked that that mentality to drive consumers. We know that yes, naturally, the Nigerian consumer, we are very, very, we like free things. Yoruba will say Ifa. We like free things, yes.
Yeah.
But Ponzi scheme people, they have cracked that code beyond normal. So they will first make sure that they give you something, sha. So that something that they give you will make you believe that this is true. So let's say you were doubting, you were having doubts before, you were fighting with some doubts before. When you already receive
Yeah.
it as your friend, you already receive your reward, you already immediately you will have zero doubt. Because why? You already have the result
Sure.
in your phone. That's how Ponzi scheme. So when you will now want to, you know, put more money into it, and that's when your scenario, that's when it will happen. So yes.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
So yeah, yeah, Victor, thank you very much. So I think the very first point you mentioned was diversification. So you should learn to like diversify your skills. So if you are monetizing, make sure like if you're monetizing your talent, your skills, you can still diversify it. Like you can be good at singing, you can be good at public speaking at the same time, right? Those can be two means of getting more money, right? So you also talked about investments, right? Investments. So I think to sum it up, like every one of us, everyone watching this video, you should start learning how to like invest. Nothing is too little to invest. I wish I started investing when Victor started investing. Like then when he was talking about bamboo, like 2 years or 3 years ago, 2020. Me, I was just there like I was I don't know, but I was making good enough money, even aside service and because I was working remote work then. It's small money, oh, it's small money. But at least if I'd put those
You just said
money
good
and
enough.
learn more about investment, it would have so it's just last year. Yeah, last year I took it very seriously and I started learning more. And I've invested in not just stocks, I've also invested in other things. Yeah, so yeah. So everyone please take investment seriously, right? Because um saving will not get you so far, right? Because saving you would save and at the end of the day you will still go and withdraw the money and spend everything.
So,
Yeah, so
so,
it's
so,
only investments that would, yeah, go on.
so
You said?
I just remembered some. So I just remembered something. I think is
Okay.
good for me to chip it in. So people need to know
Okay.
about the 70-20-30-10 rule. 70-20-10
Okay.
rule. So it simply
Okay.
means that whatsoever you are making, right? So 70% is
Yes.
for your personal expenses and all of those. So it's taking a chunk of it, right? 20%
Yeah.
is for investment, 10% is for savings.
Yeah.
Chicken. So you have it at the back of your mind that whatsoever you are earning, 70. So any amount you have, just begin to put it that way, right? That calculation, and it will help that person to become more financially smart.
Nice. Nice. So if you want to be financially free, you should create this system of 70-20-10. 70 for personal your personal budgets and expenses, right? 20 for investments and 10 for savings. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I've not even I don't think I've been doing this. Like me, I just see an investment opportunity, and no, I think it's because of the privilege I have. Um I guess it's the currency I earn in. That's why I am privileged to do the investment I'm doing. If you're earning in Naira, do this. In whatever currency is also a good plan. So 70-20-10. Yeah, so thank you, Victor. Is there any other thing you'd like to share before we round up?
No, 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 no. I don't think there is any.
Okay,
But if there are
okay,
any
right.
questions in
Thank you.
future, yeah, I said like if there are any
Yeah,
questions in future, if you have questions from the video or your viewers have questions from the video,
okay.
I'll create time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if there are questions, I'll let you know. Um I was thinking of a question I can ask before you go, but because of time, we can just round up. Yeah, so thank you very much, Victor. I really enjoyed this session. I even got to like learn new things like ESG and also this rule. And I don't think I've not been taking note of pounds, so I don't know that it was pound is a more better um place to like I know pound is higher than dollars obviously, right? But I did not just think about it. So yeah, I might need to look into that, right? So this session we've been able to talk about the different ways that we young ones can get more money, right? Like get more income, right? And we've been able to establish um like okay, so there's one thing I wanted to talk on, right? Like you talked about strategy playbook. Before we round up, just what how does a strategy playbook look like? Could you elaborate on that before we go?
All right. So a strategy playbook is simply a template that helps you to create strategies, just like the name implies, right? So I'll use how we do it for our
Yeah.
company. We have to sit down, we have to sit with the management team, some of the high important stakeholders to discuss, okay, where do you see yourself? Right? We ask them key questions such as where do they see themselves as company? What vision or mission do they embed as at now? Do they have any plans on changing that vision? Or do they have any plans on changing the mission that they have, right? Most often we don't
Okay.
find people that want to change their vision, but we've worked with a client that they had to strategically think on how to change their vision. So they were not like changing it totally, like changing the whole vision totally in its sense, but they were just trying to think on how to expand on that vision. So before they were limiting themselves to the Nigerian market, but now they are expanding to
Okay.
Africa and Middle East, right? So back to the strategy playbook, right? Where I made mention of we as individuals, you need to ask yourself this kind of important questions. Where do I see myself? Myself rather. Where do I see my financial capacity? And you need to be sincere with yourself. You know you cannot do 500, but because of you have listened to one motivational speaker that have told you stretch yourself, see that you have not been able to accumulate 30,000 in a month. You are now saying, "Oh, I want to go and do 500,000." The truth of it is that you will have that plan, but you will become frustrated because you will not be able to meet up with that plan. So you must be able to set those kind
Yeah.
of realistic questions that you can meet up with, right? You need to have a so when we are coming into the year, most of us usually normally do resolution, New Year resolution stuff. Your New Year resolution stuff should not start from the beginning of the year, right? It should start every day of your life.
Yeah.
How am I going to get better today? How am I going to get better tomorrow? Right? It should be every day. Right? While I was in school, I remember before the semester starts, right? I most often I will write it down. And I'm sure if you ask a lot of students that graduated with good grades, they will also tell you this. I'll write most of the grades I want to have down for many of my courses. Okay, I want to have A in this course, I want to
Yeah.
have B here, I want to have C here. And I tried as much as possible to follow it by the books. To even make things interesting, right? I remember some of my exams, which I knew like, oh, these exams are kind of sweet, even before writing them. I will look at the questions. We always have
Yes.
the past questions and all of those stuff, right? I'll look at it. So let's say
Yeah.
for question one is I want to get XYZ mark. I was always being specific about the mark I want to get. I'm not the lecturer marking it, right?
Yes.
I don't know the question yet. But based on what I see at hand, right, I will try and put specific. So if I want to have A in a course, right, I already know, oh, I have already gotten 15 over 30 in my what do you call it in my continuous assessment. And these are things that anybody you bring in for your academics should also like enlighten people on how you can be able to get good grades. It's always not hard.
Yeah.
I'll go back to what I want to say. So I always look at it. I already have 15 marks, right? Out of 70, I just need about 55, right? How can I not get 55 over 70? So A in my school
Yeah.
was 70. So I'll now look at it, oh, I'll get 5 marks here, 10 marks here, add it together. So just to be very sure, I'll put it a bit higher, like 60, because anything can,
Yeah.
happen. So I'll just know how I can.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So in another way of putting it, it's you can think about strategic playbook as creating systems in place that would guide you to like achieve your end goal, right? So creating systems like you said, if it's A you want to get in a course, you can, okay, this is the grade you have now on your test, you can just work towards create systems on how you can get so and so grade that would eventually end up in A. Right. So yeah, I know I used to do that too. So in school too. But I think my own problem was that I was just doing the barest minimum. Like if a course is A and I have weighed the like I want to get A in the course and I've weighed the how hard the course will be. And maybe I said, okay, this is what I have now and I want to get A. Yeah, I'm just looking at 70. No, I'll yeah, I'm looking at 70. I think then in school, my mindset then was that I'll just look at 70. I'll not look at what can I do that will get me 70 or like 80, 90. Like if you look at my grade, like my transcripts, if you like this boy, the barest minimum, which is not good, right? So that's something that you guys that are in school should work on, right? But still, Victor is a first class, so like is a boss when it talks to accounting. So yeah, so thank you very much, Victor. Thank you very much, Victor. This was a lovely session. Thank you for joining me on this. Yeah, and to everyone watching, I hope you've learned something new. See you in the next episode of the Learn with Me series. Bye bye.